So I'm Victoria, you know me. You can get in touch with us at info@disprot.org, and you of course have our emails from the variety of emails you have been receiving from us. Apologies on that. Before getting into how to curate a publication, we're going to go through how we do the crediting for your curational work, just to be sure that everybody knows how we are acknowledging their contributions. So we saw this briefly on the last training, but just for those of you that couldn't join us, and for those that are already, have been with us for a while now, you already know that we use APICURON for crediting the work of our curators. APICURON is apicurон.org. Is external platform that we use. It's also hosted in the lab, so we have a close relationship with the managers of the platform. And the idea is that we use it to value the curator effort and work. What we do is try to recognize by a variety of forms the efforts and the contributions that our curators do in DisProt. So on one hand, we have leaderboards with historic data. Let me see if I can. Yeah, we have leaderboards with data. Even we have historic data, weekly leaderboards, and also monthly leaderboards, in which you will find like a rank of the different curators based on the scores that they have been earning regarding the variety of activities that you could do in DisProt. So when you are curating an annotation, you are performing a variety of activities. You are adding a publication, you are adding statements, you are selecting a method. All of these activities have different scores, let's say. So if you create a new piece of evidence, you will get 50 points. If this is related to a new publication, you will get an extra 50 points, let's say. And for every kind of cross-reference information that you add, you will get 10 points. It's a variety of scores that we attribute based on how much you are enriching the annotation or the entry, the protein information, let's say. And based on these scores is how the leaderboards are built, okay? But we also have other kinds of acknowledgement materials like badges and medals. The badge and the medals in APICURON are to recognize the different milestones, let's say, and we also use them to assign acknowledgement based on the amount of contributions. So you can find among the variety of badge, you can find like newbie curator. It's a badge you will earn when you've done 10 new annotations, or structural state master, when you conduct like 50 annotations based on structural states, or wizard, if you are very good at adding function annotations and you add 500. And something similar for medals. Medals are for, like, for example, all-time top 25 Biocurator, or top 10 Biocurator from 2025, or the best Biocurator that we had on 2024, or things like that, okay? So these kinds of badges we also use for assigning different kinds of contributions and creating like 2 different groups, let's say, of curators. And based on these groups, let's say, we do different kinds of acknowledgement. We do publications of the updates or our database every 2 years in nucleic acid research scientific publication. So we consider annotation rounds these 2 years long periods of times where we are annotating and adding information into DisProt. As you may or may not know, we do releases every 6 months. So for an annotation round, which is 2 years, we have 4 different releases. Based on this time and the contributions during this 2 years time frame, we have 2 groups, as I was saying before. We have 2 different thresholds, let's say. We have a group for DisProt consortium, for those of you that contributed during these 2-year time frames, but we also have DisProt expert curators, for those of you that not just contribute with a larger amount of contributions, but have like more steady contributions during this 2-year frame. So for our DisProt consortium, when we do our publications, they are listed as co-authors of our publication, but under the group of DisProt consortium. This is a snapshot of our latest publication. So as you see, we acknowledge our curators as co-authors in our publications, but DisProt consortium go listed as DisProt consortium, and then those that are expert curators get their visible names also as co-authors in the publication. It's a way for us to highlight those that have a more long-standing commitment during the annotation round. Okay. So regarding the requirements to be considered one or the other, for consortium biocurators, you will have to contribute with 80 new annotations. One contribution is one annotation. So you do one annotation, just one contribution. That's as easy as that. It doesn't matter really how many information you put in that information, of course, of that annotation. Of course, we try to be as complete as possible, okay? But if you do 80 new annotations throughout the round until June 2027, and at least 20 of those are function related, you could be a consortium biocurator. If you go into APICURON, you are going to be able to see these two milestones, if you achieve these milestones, with two badges. The Consortium Biocurator 2025-2027 that are going to account for the 18 new annotations are the Consortium Function Biocurator that it's going to be granted to you if you create 20 function-related annotations. So basically, to sum up, if you create 80 annotations in the 2 years before June 2027, and 20 or more than 20 are related to functions among these 80, you qualify, okay? On the other hand, for the experienced curator requirements, what we request is 50 new annotations per release. So this is not just among the whole annotation route, but per release, okay? And at least 50 function-related annotations throughout the 2-year frame. In APICURON, you'll be able to see this as earning at least 3, because we already passed one of the releases. Now, we have the June release, the December release from 2026, and then we'll have the June release from 2027. So that's just 3 releases until the deadline, okay? So if you earn 3 of the 4 experienced curator releases from the annotation round and the experienced function curator badge, you will qualify. So to sum up, if you create 150 annotations spread across the releases and 50 of them are related to functions, you qualify, okay? This doesn't mean that if you do, for one release, you do 40 annotations, in the second release, you do 50, and in the third release, you do 60, you're not going to be considered, okay? We are going to be considering as well. We are not super strict. This is for you to be able to be aware of how far you are from your contributions, how we are going to be considering your contributions, and to be super clear on how we are going to be considering them, okay? But it's not like, okay, you didn't get to 50, you needed 50 and you have 49, we're not going to be considering you. That's not the case, okay? We want to acknowledge you and your efforts. So let's explore APICURON, okay? I need to take this away. Let's see how APICURON works. I don't know if you are you're familiarized with APICURON or not. I know that many of you are new curators. Congratulations on getting your curator account. When you start doing things in DisProt, you're going to be able, actually you can already log into APICURON, but you are not going to be able to see anything. The first thing you do in DisProt is going to be shown in APICURON. So the first thing you will do, you will see here, okay, now you'll see my name, but you will see the user icon here. So if you click there, you are going to be able to log into APICURON with your ORCID account. I'm already logged in. Let's just explore APICURON, okay? Here you have all the different resources that are partnered with APICURON. We only care for DisProt, so let's go into DisProt. And you will have some general statistics here. And as I was telling you before, you will have the monthly, weekly, and total leaderboards here. We're going to be showing the ranking of the people that have been contributing last month, last week, and the total, okay? This is how the total leaderboard looks like today. We will have the general contributions, the amount, the score, the amount of medals, badges. You can find your name and see how you're ranking and how you're advancing on the ranking ladder, okay? Then you will be able to see all the different activities I was telling you about and what score they give you. Like, for example, if you, let me turn this off. If you annotate that transition, you will have 30 points. If you add information about experimental information, like Nugnes, you will have 10 points. If you, your first region, the first annotation that I will do, you will get 50 points, and so on and so forth, okay? And then we'll have the list of badges you could earn. You'll find that, for example, the consortium Biocurator badge, but many others like cross-reference wizard, crazy creator, bunch of them. And the different medals that you could earn as well, okay? You can go into your Biocurator profile, let's say, and find all the different resources that you contribute to and the information they have on you. For example, this is not me, this is Federica Quaglia, but for example, she contributes to PED and DisProt. So below all her biography and information from her and BIP Scholar statistics, you will find the information about her contributions to PED, the badge that she has earned, the medals, the activities, and also from DisProt, okay? If you come, let's go to mine so I don't expose someone else. My Biocuration profile. This is how it looks. And I can check all my medals, for example, or my badges. And I can also check all my latest activities or how my contributions were. So this is a list of all this is sorted by date, all the latest things that I've done. And I can even try to be like, okay, what I've done in December, sorry, this is in Spanish. Let's say December from last year, I can just sort it and see the things I've done. And I can even sort by activity and say, okay, let's see all of the structural states that I've done. And you will have the list of all the things that I did in December regarding this structural state annotation. If I were to click here, I can also go to the actual annotation that I did to make sure that, oh, yeah, I did this. Now I remembered. Related to this protein and yada, yada. Okay, so this is a way for you to have like a control and be super aware of what you're doing and what APICURON is recording from what you are doing. As I was telling you before, here I have all the badges that I've earned, but there's a way in which we can also see how far, let's say, I am from earning a badge. This is important, for example, for these badges that are going to be considered for the acknowledgement, because you might be able to see, okay, I want to be part of this DisProt consortium, but I don't know how many contributions I'm left to do. So for that, you can come to your dashboard, and this is what you're going to be able to see. Firstly, what you will be, or what we recommend is for you to come to your profile, edit your profile, and set your account as public. Because if you, by default, it's private. If you keep it as private, you are not going to be able to see the feature I'm about to share with you. All the other things you will be able to use. But this thing that I'm going to show you, not so much. So you should go in firstly and go and set your account as public, okay? Because when you do that, you will be able to come to the contributed resources, DisProt, and see all of the different statistics that APICURON has on you, like the last month contributions, the last week, the amount of contributions you've made, the activities that you have been performing, and the batch that are in progress. And here, as you can see, for example, in the Experience Curator, June 2026, I am at 50%. So if I were, I haven't told you this, but also when you're looking into the batch details and whatever, if you set your mouse on top of the activities, you will be seeing which kind of activities are considered for the batch. So in this case, it's everything, the generation of transition, structural states, disorder functions, and functions, okay? And of course, you will see also the ones you already earned. So this is going to give you like a close control of what you are doing and how it's being recorded in APICURON. Okay. Any questions on APICURON, acknowledgement, requirements, etc.? No, of course you can ask us and drop us a line in Slack. I think all of you, if you're not, drop us a line also in a mail or whatever. I think you should all be already in Slack. So you can use that to ping us personally or to type just in the general channel. It's okay. Okay, awesome. So this is all super clear. That's great. I recommend using it to be able to see when you are logged in. When you're logged in as curator, you will be seeing information that is still not released. Okay, so you should be able to spot the differences. If you are not a DisProt curator yet, we will send you a short quiz, or maybe you already send it to you. When you get your passing score, we will create your account based on your ORCID. We will request information also about your PI and your affiliation, okay? And once you became Biocuration, okay, I said it already, but we should have added you already to our Slack workspace. We are going to, if we haven't yet, I'm not sure, add you to our mailing list. And we will be sharing materials for you to start your curation journey, okay? Right now, as you know, we focus on different thematic data sets in this release that is due on June. We are going to be focusing on stress response proteins, okay? We are working on it. We have a list of proteins, a list of publications to add. But of course, all contributions are welcome. So if you don't particularly care for this, but you care for another data set or an organism, or you want to propose a new thematic data set, we are here for it. We are welcome. Let us know and we will arrange that, okay? And now, I hope you all could give it at least a fast look to the publication we share with you. Let's dive into how to create a publication, okay? This is going to be the publication hierarchical folding up and binding of an intrinsically disordered protein. This is linked here. I'm going to share something with you just to make sure you have it, okay? And we're going to do a bit of a breakout room exercise to also break the ice a bit on how to explore a publication for DisProt curation. We are going to have you on different groups. I think 4 people, 5 people are too many of us, but I don't think so. To work together to identify the information that could be curated in DisProt. The idea is that you, in groups, get to discuss and explore the publication. Does the publication have curatable information about an IDP or an IDR? Were you able to identify the publication, the protein? What information and aspects you could be curated from the publication? Which terms would you use to do these kinds of, if you can discuss this among us, which kind of terms would you use? Something from IDPO, disorder, holding, transition, which kind of thing? What cross-references you should be looking into? What snippets from the paper on the publication you could be selecting to use as statements? As tips, let's say, you can use the tools that we share with you, the highlighter for Chrome, to set and say, okay, this could be a nice statement, for example, something to discuss, or even highlight this with a list of words that I don't know if you managed to set up to do this task among yourself. A good idea would be if one of you from different rooms could share maybe their screen, so you can all be discussing and saying, okay, let's go into UniProt, let's do this, or bring up issues that you're finding, okay? And of course, you might also look into DisProt entries that are already curated to get inspiration and to look for examples of how annotations look like, okay? The idea is not that you curate this, do not curate this in DisProt. We're going to be curating it together. But the idea is that you have like a pre-chewed information, let's say, and discussions among yourselves. So then when we are all of us discussing, we have a more rich questions and ideas. And if we have different ideas on how to do things, we can discuss, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be sharing with you